Hey everyone, so I am working on sort of a crafty project that is going to be a gift for my father. He grew up playing horseshoes, and I played them too with my grandpa when we had picnics and everything, so horseshoes are a big part of our family life. I found these at a rummage sale several years ago. Didn't know what I was going to do with them at the time, but now I know what I'm going to do with them. And there's two different styles. This wider shoe style, they have names, I did not remember what they were called, but this and this are kind of like a classic style of horseshoe. And so these were completely rusted over, so that's why I think I got all four of these for like $1. So we put on my husband helped me, so he did that part. He put on this rust remover gel, and most of the rust came off. You can see just a little bit there. So, and now I'm at the point where I'm going to paint these, and then they're going to be mounted onto this board. I just got this at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to stain the board a really nice, like natural, this is called honey maple, and start that with the board. And then the horseshoes, I'm going to paint them a black in a chalk paint, but it's going to be too flat, so I wanted to have a little bit more dimension and interest. So I saw this, and I've never used it before. It's called Metallic Luster Wax Metallic Finish. And you can kind of see by the photo here, they've applied this wax on the raised carved parts, and you can see how it sort of highlights it. So that's what I'm hoping to get with these guys, because there's deep crevices and raised parts, so I think these will kind of be more pronounced in the black color, and then we'll highlight it here and here with the wax. And then we're going to seal everything up with an acrylic clear coat. So yeah, that's what I'm going to work on. I've never done it before, so you shall see with me if this is successful or not. Here I am preparing the board. There's raw wood that I am sanding and using a cheesecloth to remove the sand, the dust, and the debris. And I like the top and the bottom edge that has the bark of the tree. It's kind of a rustic look. And then these little cones, these triangle things, are I just discovered them recently when I was painting another project, and I love them. You can see that they raise your project above the surface, and so that you can paint or stain and you know, not worry about handling the piece and getting your fingers stuck into the stain or anything like that. It really creates a nice platform so that you can go on with the staining. So this is a gel Minwax stain, and it's in a honey maple color. I've never used it before, but it seems to work out actually. It goes on well, and it's exactly the color that I was envisioning for the background to these horseshoe pieces. And now I'm applying the gel stain with just a really cheap brush, and it will take a couple of coats. I actually did 2 coats of this, but it says you just apply it really generously and then wipe it clean. So now I am getting ready to paint the horseshoes in the black chalk paint, and I've got a sponge brush to paint this on, and you can see I'm using my cute little triangle, what do you call those? Wedges to lift the horseshoes, and that way I can get all of the sides painted along with the top. So just going to apply, I end up applying actually 2 coats of this to the horseshoes as well, and kind of get into those grooves with the sponge. it's time to put this metallic wax glaze over the painted horseshoes. So this is the first time I've ever using this product. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but here we go. And also you can see in the background that I have the second coat on the board, and it's gonna dry for the next 24 hours. So this instruction says to apply this wax with a cloth. As soon as I started applying this wax, I realized it was going, well, I haven't realized yet, but soon. When I try to wipe the wax off, because that's usually how wax, look at how heavy that is. Oh my gosh. So I'm thinking that I can wipe that excess off and it's just gonna leave trace amounts. But watch and see. It dries immediately. And then the instructions also say to buff it and burnish it, and nothing happens. It is instant dry, and it's not movable, and it stays exactly where you put it. So I've got to figure out, because I'm in like a tiny bit of panic, but no worries, because I do figure out how to fix this one and how to go forward with the other 3 horseshoes. All right, so I decided, I found a small brush, and I am going to try a dry brush technique to dry brush this this wax glaze onto the horseshoes in a really tiny amount, just to kind of make it look like it's aged and to highlight it. So I'm dipping it in there, and then on the craft paper I'm wiping off excess, and I'm super lightly just brushing the brush along the parts where I want the wax to go. And I do still sort of burnish it with the cloth afterwards, but this has a much lighter application, and you know, I can sort of go over some parts and leave other parts of the black showing, so kind of it looks a little bit more natural. So now I'm going to go fix that first horseshoe where the cloth put the metallic wax on super heavy. So I am dabbing, I'm just doing the same technique with the black chalk paint as I did with the wax, and I'm just doing a really light dry brush. I really have to get rid of a lot of the paint off the brush in order for it to work. So it went on a little heavy there, but the more I blend it and brush it on, the better it looks, and it tones down the heavy-handed metallic application. So yeah, and they all look different, and that's what I wanted this to be. It's a very rustic and kind of like an aged patina sort of look that I wanted for this wall art that I made. And then I wipe off the excess with the cloth. It worked out really well, so I'm really happy that I was able to fix that. I mean, I could have started over, and I could have like painted it black all over again, but I really didn't want to do that, and I didn't have to. So now it's time to put a protective sealing coat over the horseshoes and the wooden board. So it's just a spray on clear, and I got the satin finish so that it's not super glossy, and I think it looks great. So my husband's helping me, and he's spraying it on. It was raining the day we did this, so we couldn't take it outside, so we had to open windows and put a fan on, but it worked beautifully.